Hey kids, you trying to get into Segment City? Well, you really shouldn't, because Segment City is a mature podcast, and listener discretion is advised. I'm just trying to look at... I know I'm in an alleyway. I know how I look, but I got some fireworks for you kids. I got snakes and I got sparklers. That's all I got. Oh, don't give me that.
You hear that, Will? It's the dulcet sounds of Segment City starting up. It's a calm beach vibes only. Oh God! It's a beaching whale. Maybe.
Do you remember the THX intro?
Oh yeah, I remember the THX intro. Sure.
And how it blows your fucking eardrums out.
How
and you're like, no.
How you're trying to like watch a normal movie and you're like, shit, the volume's way too high. God. Someone, where's the remote? It's the very first thing, so you have no ability to control the volume because you don't know where the remote is. Yes.
Let's set the scene.
What happened to THX?
I don't know. Well, everybody has good surround sound. I don't think they kept up in the surround sound game. We could look this up right now. This could be the opening, is us looking up.
Instead, let's wildly hypothesize.
What the heck happened
to THX? What happened there?
THX. THX, where did you go? AVS forum. This is just a forum. I think the fact that most Atmos type upfiring speakers need... Okay. This is... Oh, God. This is a... I think this
is a well you don't want to go down.
This is a well... Okay. People are actually giving responses. I think this is a forum specifically for surround sound. So this is a hard one.
This is just one of those things when our generation has kids and we go... People are like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, oh, my dad does these weird noises. He claims it was a company back when he was a kid. But I have no reason to believe that that's true because I've never once seen it.
For this, people might not even know. Yeah, so it's basically like THX surround sound was a thing that was like a big feature for some movies in the 80s and 90s. And so they would start the movie with just like...
They would show you that you have surround sound by blasting you in
the fucking face with surround sound.
Exactly, yeah.
It
was an audio check.
People basically said that speakers got better and they didn't add for any reason to have THX anymore, which is like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So,
well, THX can come to Segment City where it's a safe haven for failed businesses and frankly just bad ideas. It's a great place. If you have a bad idea, come to Segment City.
You did the transition into the opening. Welcome to Segment City, everybody. This is a podcast in which Theo and I present segments each week. Some are new, some are reoccurring. Mm-hmm. They're on a variety of subjects. Sometimes it's history, sometimes it's internet stuff.
Sometimes
fan fictions.
It's fashion. Sometimes
it's probably not fashion.
Sometimes
that's visual.
It's good eating and wine culture.
Yeah, wine culture is a big one that we've done many times.
Big one. Sometimes it's your daily cocktail recipe, and in the morning you better get prepared because you're going to be drinking it by 10 a.m. Segment City, day drunk.
My name's Will Kane, cocktail enthusiast extraordinaire,
and I'm Theo Sapakos, and I only ride horses now. I only ride horses.
Okay. That's a bold... Is that one of Theo's new rules for the new year?
Horses
I'm only going to ride... Listen, I got to clean up a lot of shit in my day. There's a lot of stuff I got to do.
Many job openings for horse poop cleaner-upper around here, because I'm not doing it.
Can you, like... I know horses, like, poop in their stalls and stuff. You got to clean it out. Can you, like, train a horse to be, like... Litter box trained?
Can you litter box train a horse? Because those stupid frontiersmen were parking them in their house and saying, shit wherever, doesn't matter to me, I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Randy, you tracked in mud, you also tracked in a horse again.
I told you, leave that boy outside where the bathroom in nature is.
He likes being in here. He said he had to go to the bathroom.
Hey,
so
he's told me he's an indoor-outdoor horse.
I gotta do it. Listen, he's my ride. Literally.
He's my ride. He said he'd give me a ride.
He said he would give me a ride.
All he asked for was a couple of oats. I figured we had some.
Yep. That is not Will's stupid thought about fucking horses. Will's stupid thought for this week: being muscular is being aesthetically lumpy.
Aesthetically lumpy. Aesthetically lumpy.
I've heard muscular people called cloud people.
Yes, that's when they reach a certain point of...
They become a cloud.
You've gone beyond sculpted into... Your body looks lumpy to the point of flotation in the sky. A cumulus sort of... I don't know cloud. I don't know what clouds
No,
look
you
like.
got it. That was cumulus.
All right, that's what you look like. You look like you might ruin someone's day with a little rainfall.
Can we just agree? Okay, this is a point that I'm going to make. After there's a certain level, there's a line that once you cross it, you cross from like, ooh, he's looking good, to, ooh, he's looking weird.
He's looking weird. Like we'd all prefer it if you put your shirt back on because you'll look strange.
I think when you can like see way too many veins.
I think that there's also seems to be a relationship between the more muscular a guy gets, the less clothing he wears. And so like,
yep.
So like there is a really nice point where there's a muscular man and he's wearing just enough clothing to show you that he's muscular. Get it?
Yeah.
But then he gets more muscular and he starts wearing thinner straps on the tank top.
Then he gets more muscular.
Then he gets more muscular and the clothes start to get more and more skimpy to the point where the weirder he looks, the more he wants to show you that he's weird looking.
The straps, like you said, on the tank top
spaghetti
gets thinner,
straps.
And the armholes get wider and
longer.
Taller.
They get longer.
So you could see it's like he's wearing a weird Three Musketeers, like that weird poncho thing.
So here's my theory is that a man only has one tank top that he wears to the gym. And this cloud boy has been wearing this one for so long that it's starting to lose its tank top form and just become tattered rags. And that's why the holes in the arms are so big because he only has the one.
Yeah. He's gotten too big for his
gotten
good.
Too big.
Or he's fucking full of himself. He's a piece of shit and wants to show off his abs. But people get like once you, because I used to go to the gym. Remember the gym? What a nice time that was.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't miss the gym at all.
I miss. I had to buy more weights in order to like get, because I think I told you this. I had two 15-pound weights. I had one 30-pound weight, and so I've been using them for like most of quarantine, and so I was getting up to, because you can only increase weight or reps.
Right.
I was getting up to fucking 60 reps.
Yeah, you were like cranking it with those little weights.
I'm fucking cranking it. I'm like, I need to up the weight, or else I'm gonna like, because I'm taking hours.
Right,
on this shit.
right.
So I did that, and now I'm much happier. Yes. And now it's like I have less incentive to go back, because that's one of the big things. It's like you got all the dumbbells there. It goes up to like 100 pounds. What the shit? And so it's like, okay, that used to be the good thing. They have a good variety of things, but you have to deal with the people.
Not having the gym to go to has really showed me that the gym is quite a process. You know, you gotta drive there. You got to have a change of clothes. You have to go to a public like changing room. You have to be comfortable changing in that public changing room. Then you got to get out onto the main floor of the gym where you have to navigate the social awkwardness of everyone's wearing headphones. And if you need a piece of equipment, you have to get their attention and interrupt their headphone experience. So you have to really like make a big scene about like waving or shouting like, excuse me, if you need to do that. More often than not, if someone's using your piece of equipment, you just find a whole new workout that you've never done before because you'd rather find a whole new fitness regimen than interact with one person.
Socialize.
And then you have to go on the machines. You got to actually exercise. This is what you're here for. You get your time on the machines. You're doing whatever. Then you got to wipe it down. Then you got to decide, am I showering in this public place or am I going home sweaty? If you're going home sweaty, you're going to be stinky and sweaty. But honestly, that's my preferred option to showering in the place. I'd rather go home and be smelly. And did I mention that you pay for this experience? You pay a lot of money for this privilege.
And if you try to cancel it, they'll give you the fucking runaround.
They'll give you the runaround.
Hey, you got to come in during a pandemic and talk to our manager, and then they'll just go, we canceled it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And then you're like, but did you? Was it that easy? Can you lie to me?
You go to the
legally?
front desk and you'd say, I'd like to cancel. And without moving a single muscle, they look you dead in the eye and say, we've canceled it. And you're like,
yeah, exactly.
Have you? Because you didn't move. You didn't do anything. I see the keyboard in front of you. You haven't pressed anything.
You're good.
And they're like, I made a mental note. I'll do it at the end of the day. And you're like,
they will not.
Fuck you.
I had so many awkward interactions in the gym. I once had a guy who left a bag next to, there's only 2 squat racks, and he left it there. I stared at it. He was gone for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, he's fucking done.
He's legally given up that machine.
I start putting my weights on. He comes back. He starts yelling at me like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like,
you were gone.
Yeah, I was like, you weren't here.
You weren't here. You have no legal
bag
right.
Was here. And I didn't want to get into a thing, so I just basically was like, blew him off, and I was like, fuck you. Like, because I was the one justified. And he stared at me like I was an asshole. It's like, you cannot go put your bag by a thing, take a shit.
You can't leave for 15 minutes. You can't watch a full sitcom episode 22 minutes and come back.
You can't
do it.
And then what's worse is when people ask you to spot them.
Oh, spot
and
me,
you're
bro.
like, and it's like tons of weight, and you're like, dude, I don't know if I can help.
Listen, if you're going to drop this, it's not on me. All right?
And then they start talking to you, and people at the gym, let's be honest, people at the gym are not usually the cream of the mental crop. They're the cream of the physical crop. Yeah. They are not the cream of the mental crop. Like, you get there's a guy who asked me to spot him, and then he was like, yeah, he just started rambling about bullshit. He's like, yeah, all these bitches trying to fuck me, but I don't want to be locked down.
He doesn't want to be locked down,
exactly.
man.
He was this tiny, short, like, jack dude. He's like, yeah, I don't want to get locked down, and this guy, he's like, he's taking pills that I know, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
What is wrong with this guy?
Help me.
Get me out of here. So, yeah, not having the gym as an option has really shown me that the fitness solution is just to work out at home. Yes. And never go to the gym ever again. Think about if you pay $50 a month for a gym, which is like not insanity. Like if you paid $200 for exercise equipment, that's 4 months of gym. Like in 4 months, you'll have like broken even, and any time after that, you won't be paying for it anymore.
Here's Wilkins quarantine workout advice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to get. It is great to get the adjustable like barbells. I have one that converts into a barbell. It's like dumbbells that you can convert. It's like great. You don't even need that. Push-ups, squats, like body weight exercises
sit-ups,
can get you
planks.
really far.
Yeah.
So there's tons of free apps. I've been using them because I like the timer part of it, not necessarily like the exercises. I'm like, I just kind of pick whichever one. I'm like, this looks fine.
Right. You're like, I want to exercise for 35 minutes. Okay, I'll do this one.
Yeah.
Right,
and then because I usually spend a little too much time in between, and it's like, you get 10 seconds. And I'm like,
exactly.
Okay.
It motivates you. It's like, we're moving on. Like,
yeah. And I'm like, okay, I guess we got to do that. My mom got a bike, like an indoor bike. That's great.
Wonderful. Love it.
Wonderful. You can go out running. Not now in winter, but like you can go outside. That's my Wilkins at home. There's so many things that you can do. You don't even need to like go hours and hours. You just do a quick like 30 minutes. That's better. A little bit of exercise is always better than not as much exercise. That's the first genuinely good advice we've ever given. Episode 82, mark it. The first time we've given actually good advice ever. It took us
a long time to get there, huh?
It took us a way long time.
Yeah.
It's good job, us. Well, now let's move on to Theo's segment.
All right. Well, I've got a proposition for $1 million here.
Oh, okay.
You get $1 million, but for the rest of your life,
that's a long time.
Any substance that exits your body, you must refer to as Will Sauce.
No. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, shit.
It doesn't matter what the substance is. It's all Will sauce.
It's all Will sauce. I think that I don't know whether it's worse at the beginning of when I start saying it or later on. Because if I start saying, hey, that's some Will sauce. Oh, that's a funny goof, like one-off goof, Will. Oh, that's some Will sauce.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like
not as good the second time.
You're out with some friends at the movies, and you got to get up before the movie starts, and you're like, I got to go make some Will sauce.
I got to go make some Will sauce.
People are like, all right, oh, wait, what? sorry, what? Yeah, gotta go.
So it's like, it could be, or people are like, don't say that. And then I keep saying that. Then maybe it becomes my thing. Then maybe it becomes an inside joke, because some things get funnier over time. I have a friend.
People would be like, he really committed. We didn't like the bit at first, but he's really committed to it.
He keeps doing it and it gets funnier.
Yeah, right.
Like I have a friend that we've been playing a game called Pummel Party, which is basically janky, bad Mario Party, but you can play online multiplayer. Like somebody just made Mario Party again, and they're like, it's bad, but it's funny.
But it's multiplayer now.
And he keeps, whenever I play with him, he'll at least once a game go, I fought, I lost, and now I rest. Because you could get killed in that game too, so he'll just like doing it, great timing, and every time it gets me, and it gets funnier.
It gets funnier every time
because you could add things to it. There's great stuff you can do that. Like, I don't know if all that much I could do to Will sauce.
One thing I have to mention here is the medical angle here. If you go to see the doctor and you're like, doctor, my Will sauce is red, and they're like, you're gonna have to be more specific, son.
Listen, it's coming out real weird.
It's really weird. It's coming out of the wrong hole.
They're getting like the context. They're like, I'm like, it's real chunky, and they're like, it's down to vomit or poop.
And if it's any of the other ones,
hopefully not pee.
Right? If it's any of the other ones, we're having a serious problem.
Yeah. Okay. So anything that comes out of me,
correct.
Sneeze. Sorry, a little bit of Will juice came out.
Yeah, Will sauce came out right there.
I drool a little bit, and
that's Will sauce.
That's Will sauce.
That's Will sauce.
It's a lot of Will sauce.
You're getting your blood drawn for whatever, and they're taking a pint of your Will sauce.
He demanded that we label it O negative Will sauce.
We really tried to keep it anonymous, but he insisted we write Will sauce on the packaging.
He insisted. Oh fuck. I'm gonna say, okay, for me personally, I think I could make this work. I think this kind of fits into. I think you would agree. This a little bit fits into.
This could be a thing. Right. This could be
something that's not off-brand. And it's $1 million just for referring to my dookies, as I can't call them dookies anymore.
I can't call them dookies.
Other
people's are dookies, sure, but yours are not.
Wait, what about farts?
Is there liquid? Is there substance there?
Hopefully not.
Is there matter there coming out?
Oh, I hope there's not a little bit of Will sauce in there.
Oh God.
What about you? I'm gonna do it. What about you?
Theo sauce.
Theo sauce. That's it. Doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Will sauce.
Will sauce is a nice, concise 2 syllables. Will sauce.
Yeah.
Theo sauce is a little too. It's a little cumbersome to say.
It's a little cumbersome.
I think. I mean, it's $1 million, right?
It's $1 million.
Right. For what is essentially a semantic issue here, right? Yeah, it's not functionally getting in the way of anything. You're just going to have to be more specific when you talk about certain things.
About Theo sauce, yes.
Theo sauce, right.
It's more about, let's be honest, it's more about us being pains in the ass to everybody around us.
Right. You could get away with like not telling people that this is a hard and fast rule. And people are like, he's so quirky. He's so weird. He does that. Like, I guess it would probably, for your loved ones, it would probably boil down to be super obnoxious, super annoying.
But also, I'm getting them gifts.
You're getting them gifts. You got $1 million.
I'm getting an embroidered toilet seat that says Will Sauce entry zone.
Welcome to the sauce zone.
Welcome to Flavor Town.
Oh God. I think I would do it for $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, it would just be so. It would just be so awkward.
It would.
I mean, it would only be awkward for like the first like year, right? And then it would just be like, all right, this is what I do.
Yeah.
This is it.
Oh, well, I think I would do it.
All right.
Good for that that cash. That means that I can maybe get my screenplay produced.
Oh.
Now we're moving on to my segment where Theo and I are going to play an improv game called Pitchstorm.
Pitch, please.
Pitchstorm, where basically Theo and I get to choose one of three either characters or plots. Theo's going to choose characters. I'm going to choose from plots. And then a random either character or plot is selected, and we must create a pitch for the other person. But the twist is the other person is the executive, and they get to throw out a note at any point to try to throw you off. So we've played this game before. I forget what pitches we came up with, but
I don't remember. It was long enough ago that I don't remember.
Yeah. I think I'll pitch to you first just so you get a hang of it.
Sure.
I remember the rules. So I'm going to choose, I have plot, right? So the three plots that I have: competes in a deadly underground martial arts tournament.
Okay.
Steals from the rich and gives to the poor and becomes a local legend. Some Robin Hood stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Must protect their small village from a horde of bandits.
Okay.
I'm going to say competes in a deadly underground tournament.
Okay.
Because I think that's fun. And the character is a huge jock that just wants to be a ballerina.
He doesn't want to fight.
He doesn't want to fight.
Dance.
Okay, so I'm going to hold up some notes for you.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, I might just want to read them to you.
Okay.
We want this movie to be super smart. So, like, add some math or something.
Okay.
This is cool, but it seems a little unrealistic. How can we keep it grounded?
Okay, right.
What if the main character could talk to animals, but has to keep it a secret? So I will, if you need any reminders, I can hold up the cards to you, but I'm going to start with my pitch.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Will, and I'm ready to pitch. I've been waiting for this my entire life to pitch to you, Mr.
Let's hear it.
Mr. Sapakos. So there's this guy, right? And his name is Todd. And he's captain of the football team. He's doing real great on the football team. But he has a secret passion. He wants to be a ballerina. And that's what he is at heart. He's a ballerina. He wants to skip and dance, but his father is forceful. And his father's an ex-Marine. His son's not going to be a little sissy. He's gonna be a good football player.
Mm-hmm.
But trouble arrives when ninjas come and take his father away because he owes them a debt. And so the only way to get his father back is to compete in a deadly tournament. But this goes against his ballerina training. He wants to be peaceful. He just wants to make art. But the violence of his football training leads him to this underground tournament where his signature move is tackling people into the spiked fences.
The spike fences. Well, yeah.
That's how he starts.
You know, it sounds promising, but we'd really like for our next project to be something centered around animals. And we need to find a way to get some animals in there because we need a wider audience. And our market studies show that animals really draw in kind of a diverse crowd. So how about something along the lines of him being able to speak to animals? How would that play out? But and probably he'd have to keep it a secret, right? Because not a usual talent.
Yeah. He has a moment where he's in the tournament. He's been tackling people a lot, and he goes to the local zoo. And he's like doing okay, but he's getting real beat up from this. This is a violent way to do it. And he goes to the local zoo and he talks to a swan comes up to him and says like, "What's wrong, fella?" And he's like, "What?" And he learns that he can talk to animals. And he has a moment where he talks to the swan, and they're like, "You're graceful. You can be graceful if you want in order to get your father back." And he talks to like a gorilla who's like, "Hey, violence is overrated." You don't need to do this. And so that's the turning point for him when he starts using his ballerina skills to kick some fucking ass. He starts doing some pirouettes and knocking these dudes out until he wins the tournament and also wins the heart of the audience. And they decide to nix the entire tournament and makes it a dance competition.
Wow. Quite the character progression.
Powerful
Stuff.
Powerful. And that's my pitch.
We're going to have to greenlight this one, I think. I have to take it back to the boys, but you've got my vote.
Thank you.
And I hope we can see Todd on the big screen in no time. Todd.
All right.
Classic Todd.
All right. So that is my pitch. Now for Theo's pitch, you have the choice of 3 characters.
Okay.
An old fisherman alone at sea.
Okay.
A group of girls out for the best spring break ever.
Mm-hmm.
A tribe of cavemen hunting for food.
Okay.
And those are your 3 characters. You don't know what the plot is yet.
I'm going to go with the group of girls that's going to have the best spring break ever.
All right. Best spring break.
It's best spring break.
The plot is battles corruption in the greeting card industry.
Wow. All right.
I will not share with you what my notes are, by the way. I think it'll be fun.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the meeting today. I'm really happy to be here and looking forward to pitching. Let's get right to it. So our story begins with 3 girls, Brenda, Kathy, and Lisa. And these girls, they are just the most popular girls at their high school. And they work hard, but they also play hard. And they've decided that they're going to take a spring break that is going to just gonna blow the socks off everybody, and they're gonna have the best stories when they come back, and they're gonna just get crazy. And so they're planning on this trip, and everything's going according to plan. And they're flying down to, I don't know, could be somewhere in Mexico, somewhere South America, somewhere sunny. We want to get these girls a lot of sun, somewhere really fun, the vibes. And when they get there, they notice that all over the place there are these pictures all over their hotel room of different places, different greeting cards are all posted everywhere, and they start to wonder what's the deal with this. And it seems a little fishy. It's like, they're here to have a good time, and yet everyone's always trying to talk to them about how they should really be sending cards home to their family and their loved ones while they're here, telling them how great a time they're having. So Lisa ends up going on a date with a guy that she meets on the beach, and it's starting to get heavy, starting to get hot, and he informs her that I'm
going to stop you right there.
Okay, sure, yeah.
This is great. I love the millionaire angle. Like this guy that's the greeting card guy.
Right.
What if the main character was just adopted by a sinister millionaire?
Well, that's what I was actually about to say.
Okay,
you
that's
actually
good.
read my mind. So
I read your mind.
Yeah. So she's going on this date, and he actually reveals his true intention is not to, have romantic interest with her, but he wants her to take over his greeting card empire. And he says that this whole time he's been behind the push behind all the locals, telling them to send greeting cards home, and that there's a lot of money in this, but he's got a disease that's going to be, he's got cancer and he's going to die in 6 months, and he needs someone to take over the family business. And so Lisa decides ultimately that she has to abandon her friends and become the supervillain that she was really meant to be.
Okay. So it was a weird Willy Wonka.
It was a weird Willy Wonka where she didn't see it coming, but at the end she ends up, sort of being a shadowy, mysterious figures. And the other 2 girls, they never make it home. Sort of
get killed.
Harrowing tale. Yeah, you don't want to. They weren't willing to send those greeting cards home, and they suffered for it.
That really took a turn.
Yeah, it really took a turn.
Really took a turn.
We sort of got this red herring thing going on for us that I think we could really play into.
Yeah, I think this is gonna get. I think that's a good twist. I think Ryan Johnson should produce.
Yeah,
or direct
naturally.
even,
or both. Why not?
Why not? But I think we're gonna greenlight it.
I love it. Thank you.
One of my other things was 2 words: laser dogs. And I was gonna do that, but then you were like, she goes on a date with a millionaire, and I'm like, I gotta go with the adopted millionaire thing. That's too clearly in there. Well, that was a wonderful pitch. Thank you so much, Theo. And now let's go on to your segment.
Well, we've had conspiracy queries in the past.
Oh, you're going to do a conspiracy query?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
What I'm actually going to do is a conspiracy product. This is a product that is listed on Amazon that is primarily marketed towards people who buy into conspiracy theories. And it turns out there's a ton of these products on Amazon. There's whole categories of them.
Oh, absolutely. Alex Jones has an entire network devoted to it. That's how he gets all his money.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. These boobs are out here buying like all of they're out here buying all these products. So I want to read you the description of the product. I want to read you some reviews of the product.
I'm ready. I'm on board.
Go. So for today, we've got the 5G EMF Radiation Blocker for cell phone, tested and certified in the USA. Neutralizer shield stickers for phones, computer radiation, and heat-reducing blocker sticker 5G protection shielding guard. That is the name of the product. It has 4 out of 5 stars. It is Prime eligible, and it costs $25. And if I had to describe this thing to you, it looks like a sticker.
What? No. You don't understand. It's a magic sticker?
Apparently I don't. Apparently I don't get it. You're right.
No. Like, you know how Scratch and Sniff has been created by enchanters in order to... They take a fruit and then they flatten it down into 2D, right?
Right.
And then you scratch it and you sniff it. I tried eating one time. Yeah. It didn't taste good, but maybe that's part of the magic process.
It takes out the flavor but puts in the scent.
You take out you put it on and it blocks 5G, and you know you can trust it because it's from Amazon, which is a real mom and pop operation.
Right. And it was tested in the USA, meaning it's clear. We're good, as far as I'm concerned. So here's the
tested somewhere in the USA.
Here's the description: powerful EMF protection. I think there's just already immediately a typo. EMF is not anything.
I think the electromagnetic,
right? But
the EM.
Right, but
EMF frequency, frequency
in the name of the product. There's 5G EMF radiation blocker, and now they're like EMF. They goofed.
I think
immediately.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so our product provides potent defense against adverse effects of 5G radiation. Each sticker is made from 21 select minerals and Shungite to ensure effectiveness. I don't know what a Shungite is, but I'd like to Google it.
Theo, I know what a Shungite is.
What's a Shungite, Will?
My aunt sells it.
She sells Shungite, does she?
I was going to make a joke about this. Now I can actually... There's okay. My aunt, who lives in Florida, of course she does. She was always a fun conspiracy theorist.
Nice.
Let me get that out of the way. She was like, she wore 3 Wolf Moon shirts, like unironically. I once went to her place, and she lives in one of those like flat suburbs in Florida, you know, where it's like every house looks the same, and they have like the perfect manicured. Her, like, she had a gated off like cement wall, and it was just a jungle that spread out. And she was like, she has a whole radio program where she spouts off conspiracy theories, which now the conspiracy theories are not great.
No, they're just QAnon probably now, right?
They're QAnon, yeah. But for the longest time, and still, she sells Shungite, which is pieces of a meteorite that landed in Russia that, quote, it filters water without creating waste. Now, Theo, you've taken physics, presumably. Conservation of mass is a pretty hard and fast rule of physics.
If you're pulling something out of the water that you are filtering, presumably it is going somewhere.
It gets gunked up into carbon, gets gunked up somewhere.
Correct.
Goes somewhere. She doesn't go past that. She just says it, and now it has magical properties.
Wouldn't want to touch the science of it.
She apparently like put it by a beehive, and they accepted it into their hive, and she's like, they barely do that. They never do that.
How do you know?
How do you know? I don't. And she's like, magical properties. They make the best honey that cures things, and I'm like, that's bullshit.
That's nonsense.
And she once told me a story, and she told us that the beekeeper, he's like, yeah, I could sell this for like, I don't know, $20, like that's even a high markup. And she's like, no, add a 0 to that. And in her story, you know, when you like break the surface, and like there's a moment she broke the surface of like, and because she was like, and then he looked at me and he said, what? And then she was like, and then I stopped working with him.
And you're like, no, you took the wrong message from that guy.
Yeah, it's exactly like she has in the story him being like, what the fuck are you talking about? And now, so Shungite is apparently, it filters water. That's what it's magic. It's a magic rock. Okay, it's magic meteor.
All right, so good that Shungite is in this protection thing, because as far as I know, it functions off of magic as well. So good to know it's there. U.S. tested and certified. Our anti-radiation phone stickers are backed by a number of clinical reports and laboratory certification. It has also been tested and certified in the United States. Link me, bro. Please link me these.
Literally no. Like, oh, it was in this scientific journal. No, it wasn't.
No. So here's another little blurb from them. Worried about the harmful effects of EMF or EMR and the newest 5G network? These days, devices are invaluable. We use them daily out of necessity. However, common electronics emit radiation that is harmful for the human body, with 5G being even more concerning. This has become a source of worry for many people, and rightfully so. The prevalence of radiation-emitting devices has been known to cause negative effects on health. However, using technology should not entail sacrificing our well-being. Thankfully, our 5G protective shield does an excellent job at harmonizing this harmful radiation. Excuse me. What does harmonizing radiation mean?
We harmonize. Oh! So, okay, get that pitch with me. Radiation. Oh!
Fundamentally, I don't think they understand what radiation is.
No, not at all. It's scary. It's what comes out of nuclear reactors and kills you.
I also like that in this little description, they don't specify why 5G is concerning, or they don't, in any specific terms, say what negative health effects it would have. Right? They just say, it's concerning. It has been known.
Yeah. It is known.
It is known. Right. It is known, right? It says our anti-radiation stickers are tested and certified to shield 93.33% of EMR to protect you and your loved ones from the harmful effects of EMR. Where did that number come from?
No, nowhere. That's a smart person number, and that's a decimal.
The 5G shield harmonizes radiation and reduces heating of your cell phone by up to 80%. Not only may this reduce the risk of ear-related injuries, it also helps improve your device's battery life and retention time.
There's so much to break down there. Ear-related injuries? How many people are like, my ear's getting hot? Yo, what's getting hot? Like, it's about my ear.
If your ear is getting that hot, like, just hold the phone away from your head a little bit, maybe? They have speakerphone. That's an option.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part. It says, gain a deeper understanding of our product here. And then there's a colon, and then there's nothing after the colon. as if they know that it's bullshit, and they have nothing to back it up.
They're the equivalent of Trump's lawyers when he was trying to get all the votes repealed or whatever. He's just like, there's evidence of voter fraud, and they're like, where's the evidence?
And they're like, here, look at it here. Like, you haven't shown me anything.
This is an empty folder.
This is an empty folder. You thought by just having a folder on your desktop, it would be full of something.
I didn't think you would check it.
Here's the important information section. Legal disclaimer.
Okay.
This shield will not block radiation. It harmonizes radiation frequency to protect against the harmful EMF.
Fuck you.
If this device blocked radiation, your device would not work. Yes, because your phone works by being an antenna. Like,
yes.
You can't block the signal going into your phone. It wouldn't work.
They know, it's like when you read the fine print on something that's like, it's like peanut butter, but it's not made with actual peanuts, and it's called like peanut spread.
Right.
Because they can't like say that it's actual peanut butter.
It says this is not a medical device and is not intended to diagnose, cure, or treat any illness. It's not. You just said it would help me with other health conditions. You literally just said that the other sentence.
Do they want people to read up to that point and they go, don't tell me anymore. I'm good. I'm going to buy your product.
Hey, their primary market probably didn't read any of this. They probably heard about it on the news and went and bought one without reading. Oh,
God. What's the overall star rating here?
4 out of 5, which is shocking.
Pretty good.
I have a couple of reviews here.
Mm-hmm.
From N. Whitson. I wish there was a way for me to test and show results of this product, but I cannot. I do trust that these work though, and I am really grateful to have this product available. It is like a peel-off sticker, though it is a little thicker. It goes on the back of your phone and is easily hidden under the case. 5 out of 5. So,
good science.
What you're telling me is that on blind faith, you are trusting that this works.
Yeah. That's good science right there.
That's good science right there.
I really love when they were like, we got the COVID vaccine. We didn't test it, but we're pretty sure that it's good.
It's good.
Just inject it into yourself. It's fine.
Grace says, tested it out before and after attaching to my cell phone. Blanked out the window radiation. Thank you. Been checking our electric blankets and TV. Interesting to know we are getting radiated, but in minor doses. I do have someone to compare this to. This is full of spelling mistakes. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over this.
No, it's fine.
I do have someone to compare this to. He wore a dosimeter for years and ended up dying of radiation poisoning. Worked for the government before dosimeters were invented. I know a little more than the average person about radiation poisoning. Not an easy way to die. 5 out of 5.
Dosimeter.
Those are a real thing.
Radiation monitoring badges.
Those are a real thing. Like
yes.
If you were working in an X-ray lab, you might have one of these to see how irradiated you are getting from the machines. Correct. But this is nothing.
It is funny that it kind of informs the story that this person was wearing a dosimeter at all times, and they're like, I can tell you that I'm irradiated. I work for the government. Like, just like she's like, yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
Like,
better get this for my phone.
We're getting small pieces of radiation all the time
from my
the
electric
sun.
blanket.
From my electric, like from the microwave. Yes, we get a lot of radiation from things. It's not enough to kill you.
Yes. And then this final review is from someone who is obviously being satirical. From Patriot. This product saved my life. My wife and children have been brainwashed by the 5G brainwaves. I bought this product and secretly put pieces of it in some chili I made. This blocking those socialist 5G waves from their inside parts. Before too long, the brainwashing wore off, and they were finally able to realize that Lion Biden sold the election and that Trump is going to be the president in 2021. Not only that, but because the Democrats investigated him, he deserves 40 more years. Yes, I said it, 40 more. It's the only American thing to do. I suggest you buy a bunch of these stickers and convince your family to eat them as well. It's the only way to save good old-fashioned Christian values from the evils of rational thought, tolerance, and the gays.
This is a parody.
Yes,
it can't exist.
4 out of 5 stars.
Holy shit. Only 4.
4 out of 5.
I would have given it 5 out of 5, except we had to poop it out, too.
Yeah. Except for my chili didn't turn out quite as good as I wanted.
I like that this person is like, everybody else is brainwashed 40 more years for Trump. I made them eat this. They sound like they're having like a psychotic episode.
Yes, they are.
Honey, this chili's a little chunkier than normal.
Just eat it and shut up. You'll agree with me in a couple hours.
Fucking, he's mind controlling them. What a crock pot full of chili shit.
This has been my segment, Conspiracy Products. I hope to bring you back into this world again because I think this was wildly entertaining.
I love conspiracy stuff. Once again, conspiracy has not been fun lately. That was very fun.
This was goofy.
But from current news to an old tale, we go to Wikipedia historian.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell you the tale of the dancing plague of 1518.
The dancing plague.
The dancing plague of 1518. This is, I am sourcing the information from a Guardian article called The Bizarre Dance Epidemic of Summer 1518 in Strasbourg. I also used a publicdomainreview.org essay about the dancing plague of 1518. A lot of articles about this are just kind of like 3 paragraphs. They're like, this happened, and then this happened, and then they fixed it.
All right.
And so I found the ones that I'm like, this is actually goes into depth, at least a little bit. It started with just a few people dancing outdoors in the summer heat, arms flailing, bodies swaying, and clothes soaked with sweat. They danced through the night and into the next day, seldom stopping to eat or drink, and seemingly oblivious to the mounting fatigue and the pain of bruised feet. They were still going days later. By the time the authorities intervened, hundreds more were dancing in the same frenetic fashion. But this was not one of those 80s raves that began in a remote lay-by and ended in a muddy field. That's very specific. That's okay, author.
Yeah, author.
Rather, it's one of the oddest epidemics to be recorded in world history. And it happened 500 years ago this summer. It was written in 2018 in the French city of Strasbourg. It was there over the course of 3 roasting hot months in 1518 that several hundred people developed a compulsion to dance. The dancing went on and on until, to the horror of the crowds who gathered to watch, some of them collapsed and perished on the spot. Just what was happening?
Spooky.
According to an account written in the 1530s by the irascible but brilliant physician Paracelsus, the, quote, dancing plague of Strasbourg began in mid-July 1518 when a lone woman stepped out of her house and jigged for several days on end. Within a week, dozens more had been seized by the same irresistible urge. The rich burghers who ran the city were not amused. One of them, writer Sebastian Brandt, had developed a chapter of his moralizing bestseller, Ship of Fools, to the folly of dance. So that's just kind of some context around it. This is a weird dance. Like, they also say that dancing was like a big part of this town, but apparently they don't. I don't know what kind of dirty. No, is it Dirty Dancing?
Sure.
That is. No, wait. What's this? What's the movie with Kevin
Footloose.
Bacon?
It's Footloose.
It's Footloose. I don't know what's up with this Footloose town, but mystified by the chaos in the streets, he and his fellow city councilors consulted local doctors who, in keeping with the standard medical wisdom, declared the dancing to be the result of, quote, overheated blood on the brain. They got some hot blood.
They got some hot blood, baby.
They got some hot blood. They got to start dancing. The counselors implemented what they felt was the appropriate treatment. More dancing. They ordered the clearing of an open-air grain market, commandeered guild halls, and erected a stage next to the horse fair. I would love to have a horse fair. That's just like there
sounds great.
constantly. Oh, I'd love it.
I only ride horses now.
To these locations, they escorted the crazed dancers in the belief that by maintaining frantic motion, they would shake off the sickness. The burghers even hired pipers and drummers and paid, quote, strongmen to keep the afflicted upright by clutching their bodies as they whirled and swayed. Imagine, so we got like a gig to play the same song on repeat for as long as it takes.
Did they say when we get to go home? No, they specifically said you don't get to go home until we say so.
Also, you might start dancing and it's not fun.
It's
like
not, but not a good dance, like a spooky
bad crowd
kind of like I don't know what's going on kind of dance.
You guys are great. We're gonna take a break. So it's like, I wish I could.
I wish I could.
They're just zombies. They're just they describe like like staring off into the distance look to these people's faces as they sway.
If I saw this, I genuinely would be disturbed and try to get out of there.
Well, they say it looks like just like if you were at a distance, you're like, oh, this is a fun fair that they're having, and then you get close and you just see like zombie eyes as people are like bleeding from the feet, and they're like,
God.
oh. Men hold them up. Those in the grain market and horse fair kept dancing under the full glare of the summer sun in a scene as demonically outlandish as anything imagined by Hieronymus Bosch.
Thanks for editorializing here.
Yep. A poem in the city archives explained what happens next. Quote, in their madness, people kept up their dancing until they fell unconscious, and many died. That's a great poem. I love that. It's like Robert Frost. The council sensed it had the council had sensed it had made a mistake.
The council's like, I think we done fucked up.
So
we goofed.
So we just kind of said to keep dancing. They've been dancing for months now. Nobody seems to stop dancing. Maybe we kind of fucked this one up. Maybe we
fucked it up.
You know, you don't treat a fever by putting somebody in a sauna, I don't think. Deciding the dancers were suffering from holy wrath rather than sizzling brains, they opted for a period of enforced penance and banned music and dancing in public. So it is footloose now.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the dancers were taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, located in Musty Grotto in the hills above the nearby town of Severn, where their bloodied feet were placed into red shoes and they were led around a wooden figurine of the saint. In the following weeks, say the chronicles, many ceased their wild movements. The epidemic had come to an end. So now, Theo, the question is, what the fuck happened?
What the fuck happened here?
So there's many theories that the Guardian article talks way too much and doesn't get to the point. So I've just compiled the best theories.
Lay a few on me.
The first one is actually one that's pretty scientific. Ergotism, which is they thought that the townsfolk had ingested a toxic mold that infects grain called ergot, which produces effects similar to LSD.
Yeah, I was going to say something like eating something nasty, like catching a weird mad cow disease kind of thing that fucks with you.
They use this to explain the Salem witch trials too. How this maybe affected and created mass hysteria.
Right.
However, this would have worn off within 24 hours and wouldn't explain days and days of dancing. Theory number 2, getting back at their husbands.
This is a legitimate theory that some people are proposing here.
Some people say that the first dancer, Fra Trophia's marathon jig was a ploy to embarrass her husband, Herr Trophia, in order to make... I
told you no dance in this house. That's it. I'm going.
She's like, how can I fuck with people? I could say I'm sick, but then I sit in bed. That's no fun. I don't know why she said that. I could go out and I could dance. Maybe that would be good. That would really fuck with them. They said, quote, in order to make the deception as perfect as possible, there's a fucking plan. She's Ocean's really 11.
Right.
And really give the impression of illness, she hopped and sang, which was all more distasteful to her husband. Upon seeing the success of the trick, other women began dancing to annoy their husbands too, powered on by, quote, free, lewd, and impertinent thoughts. So fucking just Woodstocking it up.
They've banked so many lewd thoughts that they've been able to keep going for 3 days because they've had so many bottling up this whole time.
And then I guess it would just spread by mass hysteria, but that's the whole point. Is it's how the fuck does it spread? Maybe that's how it started. Probably not.
Not to the point of people bleeding out of their feet.
This one's the one I found the least information on. Religious subversives. They said a cult came into town and started dancing to stir up panic or do a ritual. They weren't specific.
Okay.
That one's kind of that's some fun thoughts. This one is what I think is the most likely. It is a combination of conditions of the time combined with a predisposition to think that this could happen. Social and religious conflicts, terrifying new diseases, including syphilis, harvest failures, and spiking wheat prices caused a widespread misery. A chronicle described 1517 with the poignant brevity as a, quote, bad year. Thank you.
I can relate. Yeah, I can relate.
2020, a bad year. The following summer, orphanages, hospitals, and shelters were overflowing with the desperate. These were ideal conditions for some of the city's needy to imagine that God was angry with them, and Saint Vitus, the saint responsible for dancing, among other things, had cursed them. This was not the first time that this has happened also along the Rhine River, as others had blamed Saint Vitus earlier for other dancing plagues, which created a precedent. So this is not the first time that this has happened. So conditions of just a bad year combined with maybe it's God punishing us. People have danced before because of this. Boom, perfect condition to create mass hysteria as weird penance. And then the only reason that they got out of it is they went to a shrine of Saint Vitus. So maybe that's like, oh, penance to Saint Vitus.
Right.
Hey,
maybe we can
stop making
now.
us dance.
Yeah.
It's all psychological, I think. But it's a very... It's funny yet tragic.
It's
one of those
weird.
things-
It's definitely weird.
The concept is fun of a dancing. You go dancing plague, that's fun, and then it's like,
Oh no,
whoa.
dancing! It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's a story.
Some say that equestrian is horse dancing. I only do horses now.
And we only do endings now because we're at the end of the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our show, Segment City. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a star rating. Leave us a review. We love seeing them. You could also email us at segmentcitypodcast@gmail.com. Hit up our Twitter at Segment City, our YouTube, Segment City. And we got to give a big shout out to our good friend.
We do have to give a big shout out. And I'm the boy who does the shout outs.
Yeah.
I'm the one who does the shout outs. And I'm shouting out Rachel Robinson. Thank you, Rachel, for doing our intro music. She's wonderful. She had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, Rachel.
Oh, happy birthday, Rachel.
This is probably like way out of
I
date
knew
at this
that.
point. So
Yeah, it's like a few weeks after.
Yeah.
I get but yes, thank you, Rachel. I think it's funny that I always feel like you're buying times for you to remember what you have to say.
No, you know,
Rachel?
Rachel? I always try to, I'm buying time to decide if I want to push back against trying to make you do it or if I'm just going to accept my fate.
If you're going to make a goof about
it.
You say it was the energy of a teenager that's made to do a single chore. Like, wash one dish, please. I do all the other dishes. You have one that you
But this is the biggest dish.
I know, because I did every other dish. There were 30 other dishes.
I hate dishes. You know I hate dishes.
Can't believe that I didn't get that abortion. Anyway.
As rebellion, I'm going to go dance in the street.
Don't do that. No, he's raving. He's raving now. I got to go to his house. All right, bye, everybody. Oh, I got it too. And now I was about to close the